While Democrats have brought out the big guns, including Barack and Michelle Obama, to help Kamala Harris, the former president's eldest daughter has rarely been seen. While the reasons for her absence remain unclear, the question arises, who will step in to take her place? Ivanka, her father's trusted right hand in politics. According to American media, Ivanka Trump played a pivotal role in her father's rise to the presidency in 2016. As one of the campaign's key figures, she was tirelessly on the road, despite being pregnant her third child, traveling to cities across the country to help shape his image. She was especially influential in winning over female voters, thanks to her support for maternity leave policies and a campaign focused on suburban women. When Trump took office in 2017, Ivanka and her husband, Jared Kushner, both stepped away from their business careers to serve as unpaid, unofficial advisors to the president. While Melania was officially the First Lady, many Americans believed Ivanka was the one truly pulling the strings behind the scenes. Carl Icahn, a business mogul and family friend, once remarked, "I think Donald Trump always listens to her. He holds his daughter in very high regard." In the book Wicked Game, an insider's story on how Trump won, Mueller failed, and America lost, former political advisor Rick Gates revealed that Trump even suggested the idea of Ivanka running as his vice president. Ivanka was reportedly taken aback by the proposal, but her father stood firm, saying, "She shines, she's smart, she's beautiful, and everyone will love her." Ultimately, Ivanka turned the offer down, and the plan never materialized. Trump also floated the idea of nominating Ivanka to lead the World Bank, praising her financial savvy, calm under pressure, and strong presence. While Ivanka later explained she declined the offer because she was happy in her advisory role, a separate source revealed that after 2 years of close collaboration with World Bank leaders, she was nearly in line for the position, only to be blocked by former Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin. On top of that, The Atlantic reported that Trump believed Ivanka had the diplomatic chops to make a real impact at the United Nations. However, he ultimately decided against nominating her, fearing the backlash over potential nepotism. Why Ivanka and Jared chose to walk away from politics. As the most famous Trump sibling and the one with the closest ties to her father's administration, Ivanka Trump has been under the most intense scrutiny. Critics have noted that her public image shifted once she entered the political arena. Her role in the administration was often overshadowed by the endless scandals surrounding the Trump presidency, many of them fueled by political rivals. And, of course, the violent January 6th attempt to overturn the election results. According to the New York Post, sources close to Ivanka confirmed that she has no intention of returning to politics in a second Trump administration. As one insider put it, the first term really took its toll on her. Another source shared, "Ivanka is proud of her father, she loves him. But his last presidency took its toll. There were friends who turned their back on Ivanka and Jared because of Donald, and that was painful for her." These were people from New York's political and cultural elite, many of whom Ivanka had once counted as close allies. Now, after Trump's exit from the White House, it's unclear whether she will ever regain their trust. Having lost some of her Manhattan social circle, Ivanka has relocated to a Florida island known as Billionaire's Bunker, where she now spends time with her new circle of friends, including Tom Brady and Jeff Bezos. Before the presidency, Ivanka was running her own successful clothing line, but by 2017, she became the target of satire, with Saturday Night Live famously mocking her in a parody ad for a perfume called Complicit. Ivanka Trump also had to distance herself from her father's fraud case. She hired her own attorney and successfully petitioned to be removed as a defendant after New York Attorney General Letitia James included her in the lawsuit. While she tried to avoid testifying by citing childcare concerns, her appeal was denied. So, she made her way back to Manhattan, where she sat before Judge Arthur Engeron, a room full of lawyers, and a sea of reporters to answer tough questions about the Trump Organization's financial dealings. Though she couldn't avoid testifying, Ivanka's responses were carefully crafted to distance herself from the company's business practices. The original lawsuit accused her of playing a major role in securing real estate deals and loans central to the case, some of which, according to the Attorney General, involved fraudulently inflated financial documents. Her brothers, Don Jr. and Eric, had already testified, both denying detailed knowledge of their father's financial records or the company's accounting practices, despite being executive vice presidents. Ivanka followed a similar strategy, but where her brothers were often brash and defensive, her tone was softer, more measured, and more polished. When pressed, Ivanka repeatedly claimed she could not recall specific details about the loans her father secured from Deutsche Bank for his projects. She also couldn't remember the emails she'd written or been copied on regarding those deals. At one point, she glanced at a document from more than a decade ago and, with a touch of wistfulness, remarked, "It's bringing back a lot of memories." In mid-November 2022, Ivanka Trump made waves when she announced she wouldn't be joining her father, Donald Trump, in his 2024 presidential campaign, and would be stepping away from politics altogether. "I love my father very much. This time around, I'm choosing to prioritize my young children and the private life we are creating as a family. I do not plan to be involved in politics," she wrote on Instagram. "While I will always love and support my father going forward, I will do so outside the political arena." According to New York Post sources, former President Trump tried to convince Ivanka and her husband Jared Kushner to continue backing him, but they both declined. Ivanka stuck to her word, skipping her father's campaign launch at Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida on November 15, 2022. She also missed a key event at Mar-a-Lago on April 4, 2023, after Trump was indicted on 34 felony charges in New York, citing a family vacation with Jared. However, Ivanka hasn't completely disappeared from the political scene. She occasionally shares brief statements of support, like one after a July assassination attempt on her father. She also made a surprise appearance at the final day of the 2024 Republican National Convention on July 18. Still, her November 2022 statement made it clear that she intended to step back from politics after her father's announcement to run again. Sources told the Post that while she doesn't plan to re-enter political life, she might still make occasional appearances to show support for causes she believes in, particularly the concept of the American family. One Miami source explained, "Ivanka isn't preparing to jump back into politics, but there are whispers that she could make key appearances and lend her support." While Ivanka Trump has faced her fair share of challenges, rest assured she hasn't lost her influence or her connections, even with a potential second Trump administration looming. The same can be said for her husband, Jared Kushner. Like Ivanka, Jared has stepped away from politics after serving as a senior advisor to Donald Trump, focusing on Middle East policy. But that hasn't stopped him from making big moves in the private sector. His private equity firm recently secured a $2 billion investment from Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund, a deal that has drawn scrutiny from some Democrats in Congress. Other investments have come from Qatar, the UAE, and even a Taiwanese billionaire. Should Trump return to the White House, Democrats are likely to ramp up their scrutiny of Jared's financial dealings. There's also the cybersecurity angle. Recent revelations suggest hackers linked to China targeted Kushner's phone during a telecommunications breach. A source close to him dismissed concerns, saying, "Everybody's been trying to hack Jared for the past 9 years, and there's no indication anyone got access to the data." Meanwhile, Ivanka appears to be easing her way back into high society. In late October, she turned heads at Kim Kardashian's exclusive birthday party, dressed in a glittering white crop top and side-slit skirt. Kardashian even posted a photo with Ivanka and Lauren Sanchez. Jeff Bezos' partner, captioned, "So blessed to have hit the jackpot of friends." It was a scene straight out of Ivanka's pre-political life, one she hadn't enjoyed much since her father's 2015 presidential campaign. As for the possibility of Ivanka and Jared returning to politics, a source told the Daily Mail it's unlikely, but not impossible. "I can't see her doing anything that would take her away from Florida and her family," the insider said. But maybe Donald would ask her to join him on a foreign trip or work on a special project. Nothing with daily responsibilities. Jared hinted at this balancing act in an interview with the New York Times before the election, admitting that he and Ivanka still help out behind the scenes. "If he calls her for advice or help on something, we're always there," he said. While Jared insists Ivanka has been remarkably consistent in her decision to leave politics, he acknowledged that the world will be different for us over the next 4 years if her father is president. Just when it seemed like she was done with the spotlight, Ivanka showed up at her father's election night party, turning heads in a bold blue suit. With all the attention back on the Trump family, it begs the question, is Ivanka starting to waver on her pledge to stay out of politics, now that everything seems to be coming up Trump again? Back to a rally in 2023, Ivanka and former First Lady Melania were no-shows when Donald Trump spoke following his arraignment. But 29-year-old Tiffany Trump was right there in the front row, standing by her father and showing a united front. According to an insider quoted by Page 6, Tiffany is trying to be the supportive daughter, and this could be her way of getting closer to her father during such a pivotal moment. With her stepmother and older sister absent, Tiffany became the most prominent woman at the event. International media began to wonder, is the youngest Trump daughter positioning herself to take Ivanka's place as her father's right-hand woman in his political journey? This could very well be the case, especially now that Tiffany is married and has the backing of her billionaire husband's family. However, the real question remains, can she step out of Ivanka's enormous shadow and carve her own path in the political arena? Is Tiffany ready to step into Ivanka's shoes? The absence of Ivanka Trump at a recent rally made Tiffany the center of attention. After Donald Trump's speech at Mar-a-Lago, sources told Daily Mail that he spent the evening with Tiffany, her husband, and his longtime advisor, Roger Stone. While Tiffany has rarely been involved in her father's political events, her presence at this rally seemed significant. She attended the Republican National Conventions in 2016 and 2020, her father's inauguration, a 4th of July event at Mount Rushmore, and a Trump Pride rally in Tampa in 2020. But until now, she hasn't fully embraced a public political role. According to an insider, Tiffany has never really been involved in politics, but with Ivanka stepping away, Tiffany is trying to step in and become the supportive daughter by her father's side. It appears she's using this moment to get closer to him. Tiffany graduated from the University of Pennsylvania in 2016 with a degree in sociology and law, and then went on to Georgetown Law in 2017. After earning her law degree in 2020, she worked as a legal research assistant at Georgetown. Tiffany hasn't shared her next career steps, like whether she'll take the bar exam, but she has been involved in law reform work. As a student, she joined the legal team of Shone Hopwood, a lawyer known for advocating prison reform. Her legal expertise could be especially valuable with her father embroiled in multiple legal battles. Aside from the charges in New York, Donald Trump is also facing accusations of mishandling classified documents and attempting to overturn the 2020 election results in Georgia. When Tiffany graduated law school, Donald Trump proudly tweeted about it, calling her to the White House to congratulate her. "What I need is a lawyer in the family. Very proud of you, Tiff," he tweeted. Ivanka and Tiffany's relationship has evolved over the years, and as people reported in August 2023, they've grown closer. A source explained, they used to not get along, but now they're bonded over their shared trauma of being the most hated kids in America. Going through that experience with their dad as president was awful for them. They hated it. They want nothing to do with politics now. They just want to chill in Miami. Both Ivanka and Tiffany have kept a relatively low profile in Miami's social scene while still showing support for the family's political ventures, notably during the Republican National Convention in July. Like Ivanka, it seems Tiffany will continue to maintain a quieter public presence as she focuses on her family life. Speaking of which, Tiffany's pregnancy news recently came to light thanks to her father. At a mid-October event, Donald Trump excitedly shared with the crowd, "She's going to have a baby, so that's nice," referring to Tiffany's pregnancy with her father-in-law, Dr. Masad Boulos, present. Wishing all the best to Tiffany and Ivanka as they navigate their lives and careers. It's clear that both are staying strong and making their own paths, whether in the spotlight or out of it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to Billionaire Dynasty for more updates on the Trump family and other influential dynasties. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.